Nobody there.
Nobody there.
Nobody there.
Okay, we got something there. What is that? What is that? We would hear female voices up in this area.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Main. I'm here with another episode of Twin Ports Paranormal. I've got the Twin Ports Paranormal guys, Harley and Rick, here today. So we're going to be talking about a house in West Duluth that you guys visited recently.
Yes.
It was rather interesting. She had, her name is Ruby, she called us, and she had some experiences, pretty much through her life, but she called us on this place that she lives in now because, well, she had a little ordeal with one of the cats, go upstairs, the top of the stairs, dart back down, but she had an old woman that was walking over. She was looking off her bed, and here's this old woman that was digging in her jewelry box. And she said the woman would just turn around and look at her and turn back and just keep digging. And then she just disappeared. So she got a hold of us, and we found this quite an interesting little ordeal going on. And we'll get into the pictures and things, and you'll see, and we'll explain what's happening with that.
So the first image that we have is a still image, and it's very strange. It's a shot of someone. This lady's back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
her back is to the camera.
It was a friend of hers, snapped a picture. They were dancing somewhere.
She was dancing in her kitchen.
In the kitchen, and the camera wouldn't even focus, too well when they snapped this picture. But you'll see it, and then what we sort of broke it down, and you sort of really see what was in this picture also.
We had somebody out there that actually refiltered the picture and sent it back to us.
And that third picture on there.
It enhanced it more so you could see.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at that first image. I could see there's the untouched image on the top, and then with the filters applied to it on the bottom there.
Yeah. Yeah, the one on the left is mine, and the one on the right with just the face, we actually got that from somebody on the internet. We posted it, and
it was amazing.
They filtered even more.
Wow.
It was amazing. You can see just the first picture. If you take a look at it, you can see the face start to form. It's formed in her hair.
Yeah.
But the enhancement really comes through.
And it's definitely a woman.
Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah.
And it stuck right on her. I mean, it was right there. Yeah. So she was.
That's one of the reasons why she called us too. So when she seen that picture.
Oh, okay. So she actually saw the picture, and that inspired her.
Oh yeah.
Kind of go, okay.
She's had that for a while, and she was questioning that. So I think she had put it up before to try and show people that what it was, and I think now that we've actually got it out there, we may be able to draw attention to the fact, and maybe people give their input on it as well. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, interesting. Okay, we've got our next couple of clips here are EVPs.
Well, you could say EVPs, but what we used was we call it the portal. It's this box. It's the amplifier type thing that we hook up our spirit box to, and we'll ask questions, and it'll come through that. So we'll hear it live, and that's what it is. Typically an EVP, really,
In a sense, it is.
In a way, but
it's more of that's like one of our recorders we had. It's actually a live recorder.
Yeah.
You can plug your headphones into it, and if you're asking a question, then it can speak into the device, and we can hear that as well.
It's like a 2-second delay, but
right.
you hear what the recorder actually picked up.
So in this one, you're asking who's there, right? And you get an answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's play that first EVP.
Can you tell us your name?
Tell us your name, please.
That's actually pretty clear.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Jim.
Yeah. And Ruby's not sure, of a gem, but she was wondering if, maybe somebody in that house may have passed. With the name Jim. So that's something we need to figure out.
Do you know any background on how old this house is? How many?
This building area, which they have called townhouse, now back in the day, it was actually, I believe it was the projects, in West Duluth that they built, because they're like duplex homes. So this is probably got a pretty good history, goes back probably in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Okay, is this the clip, is this one the one where you're asking for help
That's when you know.
getting set up?
No, this one here
Nope.
is,
This is the one that you would know a little bit more about. You're talking about what's,
the answer that they give us is I'm not sure if this was one where we had mentioned about, if they wanted to go, and beyond here and into the next life.
oh, okay.
And we got a few things on there that they were answered, and I believe one of them was a female on the second word, the second part of the voice box. So
All right, why don't we play clip number 3 there?
That recorder. There's a couple words there. Yeah. They're questioning us on something, and I'm not sure.
Yeah,
What they'd be
maybe what's
questioning,
that
but
was
what's
referring
that?
to whatever your equipment is there.
Yeah,
Right,
and I believe I asked, to like go to the light, and but it was the equipment was there, and when that thing's up and running, it does have these blue lights on it, and it looks a little funky, so maybe they have no clue what that thing is.
I wouldn't think they would.
Yeah, yeah. So, and their voices were coming through it.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. Okay, now this next EVP is you ask a specific question
yeah.
about what kind of spirit is
What
coming.
their intent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what their intentions
Yeah.
are. So what led you to ask that question?
Um,
Did you?
Well, when we get to that
You
point,
feeling
and
something,
yeah,
or-
yeah,
okay.
it's or we may have heard something earlier that to me felt like it wasn't a good thing, and so then I come back with this question, and this is the answer we get. But I do wanna say that a lot of times when you get this response from a spirit, it may not be at all. It's just them trying to scare you. Okay?
Okay. All right, let's go to that next EVP, Jim.
I wonder what your intentions are. Are they good or evil? Evil. Said evil. And why is that?
what was that?
You don't like me talking about it, do you? For evil. For evil. For evil. On that particular one too, we got that another response after that. I'm not sure what it's saying,
Yeah, I couldn't make that one out.
but to me, it was almost the same voice.
It did sound very much like the same
Yeah.
voice.
But whatever it was saying on that second part, I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
it was still talking.
Well, maybe people will. Maybe people can look
Yeah.
at that online and see if they can. Because I listened to that one a lot, the second part of it there, and I couldn't. You can hear that there's several syllables,
Right.
da 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 da, or 4 or 5 syllables, but I could not make out what it was actually saying.
Yeah.
Very very weird.
But again, like I said before, this thing said evil, but not always. It's just them trying to scare us, or scare. You know, if I was a spirit and somebody asked me that, and you know, and I want to play around with these people, I'd say evil.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think a lot of the spirits do.
Did you feel like there was a particularly dark presence in the?
The actual feelings, no,
Okay.
but you'd hear things through it that would make you question. You know, like what is this thing up to?
Yeah.
You know, but as an actual like heaviness or feel, no.
Because you guys kind of, after doing this for a while, you guys start to get a sense of
Yeah,
when you're around something that's very dark.
absolutely. I mean,
kind of negative energy.
yeah, I mean, I've experienced it, and it's very rare, but when I do, it's that extreme heaviness. If you're in a certain room, you know, where you get nauseous and you want to even throw up, and as soon as you leave that room, you're better. You know?
We've gone into places where we could get that feeling immediately before we start.
Yeah.
And that's happened on a few occasions. And just to have that feeling that you're vulnerable to whatever's going on. If you follow that particular lead, then you start to feel it. And at one particular point in time, I was beginning to wonder if I was in the right line of work. And I talked to Rick about it. And for a while there, I actually thought about quitting. But we discussed things and we figured it all out. So, but yeah, it'll try to intimidate you.
Interesting.
When it is bad.
Yeah, right. Well then, okay, so this next one is kind of almost like the opposite of that, a little bit.
Well, actually, it's the next two. When I set up this, the portal with that device, when you first turn it on, you got to do a lot of adjustments. You get that, because it's the SB7, that spirit box that you hear that. Well, this will take a lot of that out, and then you go to adjust things, you know. So when this spirit comes through and wants to talk, it's more clear, and you don't have that. So while I'm working at setting this thing up, I'll ask questions, you know, like, can you help me out when I get to the right spot? You know, what's going to be best for the spirits to come through. And this happens a lot when we use this device. They help us out. And that's what basically the next two are all about.
Okay, well let's play number 5 here, James.
Can you say something so I can get this adjusted right? Can you? Help me out here.
Good. That's it. That
You
did
think we
sound,
got it?
that did sound good.
Yep.
Do it. Do it. Do it. And that one was basically after I set it up the first time. We just wanted to get it even more clear if we could. The next one is when I was up in the room by myself setting it up. And Harley and that were still downstairs. And I finally got it. And then I went down, then we came up, and started asking questions. And this one you heard was actually the second one. The next one is actually the first one when I first went up there, setting it up. You're actually going to hear the device with that sound. And once he gives me the answer, that's when I hit it and took that away. And it was silent after him, because that's the spot that works best for them. And he let me know.
Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and roll the next EVP, Jim.
Yeah, from that static to where he said much better, and then I had that static gone.
Yeah,
You know,
much better.
yeah.
Interesting. So, so that machine that's doing that is, I'm just trying to what is it you suppose that, like, if you're a spirit, right? What is it that they're looking for? Are they looking for a frequency or that makes it easy for them?
And plus helps us hear them. I mean, if that thing was, if you just turn those things on and you get that sound, I mean, you'll get things coming through, but it's harder to figure out what they're saying, It does. I think it's the frequency, especially because we're using the SP7 that we connect it to, and that's that little thing that scans all the radio stations really fast and forward or backwards or however.
Which we
AM or
find is
FM.
best is AM reverse at about 150 to 100 pulses, and it tends to come through a lot easier than the FM or AM forward.
And again, they sort of let us know. When we try these different settings on it, and we get to that one, and we'll get to things like much better like that, and others, in other cases that we've had responses.
Well, somebody needs to be doing that research on what's the optimal spirit frequency.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I think
that-
the man that designed it probably knows,
Yeah,
but it's something that, every individual that has one of these has to work with it. So,
Very strange. Fascinating, but
Yeah.
strange. Okay, so now we've got some, this is the one that, this is an SLS clip
Oh.
of you on
yeah.
a stairway.
What's interesting about this one coming up is the stairs that go to the second floor. It's like most houses. You'll walk up, there's a little landing, and then you're gonna turn around and go back, then up to the next level. And I caught something there. But the thing with this, and it's probably hard to see at first, but the thing is I'm actually slowly moving the SLS just to keep it in the screen. And then the next thing you know, I did the complete loop going back up, which is extremely, extremely rare. I've never in my life experienced.
So this
anything like
figure
that.
is moving and you're having to follow this
Yes.
normally they move out of the way of the camera completely. But this
Or disappear.
Or disappear. This one here, it just walked around the corner and it just kept going. So it stayed within the range of the camera.
Yeah, my whole time doing this stuff with the SLS, this is the first time that I experienced something like this.
Where the
Which
SLS
I love, yeah.
figure
Because it,
stayed there.
Yeah.
But it was moving, but it didn't disappear. It just kept.
yeah, people question this SLS. I don't know, but to me, it just verified more that, yeah, it does pick up something. And to follow this. And to realize you're on a staircase where they don't have anything, no furniture, no nothing.
Right.
So you're not picking up off of things. As a matter of fact, Harley started out with the camera on this in green, which would reflect this night vision. He took it off. I told him to take it off. So there's no reflection of lights or anything that could have caused this. So it's really neat.
All right. Well, let's take a look at number 7.
All the recorders going.
See,
Right here, that's close. I'm getting too much glare on this. Take the green off.
No, they took it off.
Here. Well, hello there. I'm telling you, there's nothing there but a towel or a rug hanging on the wall. Well, something was there.
You see something?
Yeah,
At this point, I'm on that
See,
landing.
it's like right in front of us, right there. Right there in the hall.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Where are you? Go down. It's like
But I'm actually turning right now.
So I'm trying to get on
And,
the other side.
yeah,
of the
he's
room.
following me, trying to.
And it's almost like it's.
So I had to shift to the other side, and it's just tough to follow him when he's going around corners.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. Why is it staying in a picture?
How is it? I am moving.
I know. How is it
It's
staying?
like it's no, it's like it's on top.
He's getting out of my way, so I'm not gonna stay.
I don't know that I've ever seen like an SLS figure stay that long.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can, especially if you're interacting with them, and until you really actually try to touch them, they'll sometimes go away. But this one here, even when it got to the top of the stairs, and when it disappeared, you come on top of the stairs, it's like a doorway. So it could have jolted left or right. Now it's out of the screen. It just moved on. And I wanted it, and I think we caught it later on, but it's very interesting because, like I said, I've never experienced anything like that, following with an SLS.
Where it's moving.
Where it's moving. And I have to actually move to keep it in the screen, which I don't know. It's never happened before.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So like I said, it just makes me believe in this SLS is actually picking up spirits. You know, people question it. I don't know. But when you have nothing, no furniture or anything, and something appears on that screen, what the heck is it?
Right.
You know? So,
You were going to say something, Harlan?
Oh, I was gonna, don't mind if you don't mind me interjecting onto the next one. The next one is, it's actually taken off a figure of a doll. And normally if you see a figure like a person or doll or whatever else, you would imitate the same thing as an SLS.
I think we've got one before that
yeah,
one.
this is the bed.
Oh, the bed, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you guys you're in a bedroom,
Yeah.
obviously. What's going on here?
Well, on the bed, we set up a device that if something supposedly gets near it, it'll let us know. And took a while, but we actually did get a response from that device from this thing. But when it first appeared, you know, you're looking at this thing, and then eventually we realized it's almost like it's laying on the bed, and we caught it. Sort of neat. And she experienced things, you know, when she's in bed, she says she hears things and, you know, like almost talking to her, you know.
She has pressure as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where it's like one of those things where people feel the bed move? Huh.
So, and anyways, this is the one that was on the bed.
Okay, go ahead with number 8.
No. Oh, there you go, some. What is that? What's it say?
Bacon.
Oh, there's another one. Right on the bed.
Day.
Right on the bed. Mm-hmm. It's funny, that thing ain't
Early
going
will
off.
scan up to that
Mhm,
bed
on the
screen
bed.
up in the
Right.
right-hand corner.
Can
which
you get
you'll
close to
see
that
the
thing?
layout of the bed with this thing in it.
Yeah, because it's difficult to tell it's on a bed
Right,
here.
just by looking at that.
Right.
It's almost
There
like
you
it's
see where the
laying.
sensor is, it's
Mhm.
like-
Doesn't it look like it's laying?
Yeah, it's right on the bed too.
It's like it's laying.
Trying to get this picture of this corner.
See, there's no
Yeah,
body
it's right on the
there, it's
bed.
just a figure.
Yeah, film the bed too. You can go green on
Now
it.
you can see the
I
bed.
got it right now.
Yeah.
You can see right there.
And that device that's by
I'm
its
going
leg.
down right here, the right portrait. Right this. Right up by the screen. Yeah, sure enough. I'll be darned.
It's almost like its leg keeps going over to that meter thing, like
Almost like it was trying to make
Yeah.
it go off, you know?
Yeah.
And then finally created a beep where it got close enough. And I don't know, you know, how close you're supposed to get to these things. Well, I'm not a spirit, so I don't know. But it finally made it beep, which is sort of nice because that's what that device was designed.
so that sort of validated there
Yeah.
was something there.
Yeah.
And how far away are you guys from the bed when you're from this thing when you're shooting it?
I would say at that moment we're probably 6 to 8 feet.
When I was filming that, I think I was more like 3 to 4 feet.
Oh, you
actually,
were?
actually close to the bed.
Oh, you were close.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you and Terry were on the other side. So
So there's some distance there, and you got to get this meter. You kind of have to be right up on it to basically make it go off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can, let's say my phone is the meter, you'd have to probably get like this
Within
close
inches,
for
yeah.
for it to set off.
Okay.
And we'll ask spirits to get as close as they can, and we'll get responses, and we know where.
Did you ask this spirit to get as close as?
I told him, can you make that device go off? You know, and eventually it
Well,
did.
then his leg was.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to make the device go off like
Possibly.
that.
Yeah.
You know.
Pretty neat.
I'm working on it. You know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and the next one we've these two. There's like a small figure, and then there's a doll, but it's two different ones.
This
It's
is
two-
this is
This is
Terry in the
Terry,
basement
yeah.
first. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you're doing
the
here.
doll was on a post on her bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one here is, we were actually sort of like done with that SLS coming down back into the main living room down there. And as we get down there, this little thing appears up on top of the couch.
Yeah, I think we're on number 8, right?
We're on number 9.
Number 9.
So this is Terry.
That
These
was
last two are both Terry. One where there's a small figure, and one where you think
With the
it's
right.
a doll.
That was just off the couch area.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So this one that we've got
Alright.
next is Terry. Terry's sitting on a couch.
Well, she was by the couch.
Oh, she was by the
Yeah,
couch.
she was by the couch, and this thing actually appeared with nobody by it. Terry was actually walking down at her, and then we get her in the picture.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's interesting. It's so little is what's,
She seems to attract him pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah, when I looked at this one, I was like, well, that's odd that it's so small. I mean, you know, it's not person size. It's like
Yeah.
either a child or, you know,
Right.
something. All right, let's go to number 9.
You touch my hand?
That's so weird.
And what's interesting too is Terry's actually, her hand's starting to get cold.
It's cold right on my wrist.
Sure, it's just, yeah.
Even covered up with a shirt that's like a breeze.
It's almost like it's, you know, like was like trying to touch the wrist area that she's talking about.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have a theory about when you see those little tiny? Do you think those are children? What's your
You
theory?
know, sometimes I do believe it could be a child. In this case, it was just really small though. I mean, even smaller than a child. And we had Ruby. You know, she's a believer even in fairies. You know, she made the comment, maybe it's a fairy. I don't know.
know.
But it's something
I
that
like
was
the
really
fairy idea.
small.
That'd be cool if it was a fairy.
And you know, I'll let Harley. We'll get to this last one here.
I'll go
Explain
through-
about the doll thing.
I'll go to it real quick. She made dolls over the years, and some of the people that worked for her didn't like them because they kind of spooked them. This one was on a bedpost, and normally you would, if you got an SLS on a bedpost on a doll, you figure that it would show because it's basically like a human. But Terry got close to it, and it disappeared.
So this doll is attached to the
To the
bedpost.
bedpost,
Yeah, yeah.
And stationary,
Yeah,
obviously.
but it was sort of draped with
Clothing.
like some sort of thing over it. So I mean, you actually didn't get the whole figure of the doll when you're looking at it. But in any case, this is what happened.
Go
It's
ahead
really
and run that last one there.
Picking her up.
Can you come back and talk to us?
Terry, stop.
You see Terry?
What's up on the wall? Look right there. What's up on the wall there? What's that?
This thing?
Yeah.
This is that doll. Some type of lacy material
So
and
Terry's
the
the
doll's
lower
hanging
thing.
here.
Because we got a figure coming out of that doll.
What?
Yeah, it's moving.
Reach up to that doll again.
Disappeared.
Yep.
There was something on the doll.
Don't
Yep.
be afraid.
It's gone now.
Wow.
You know, what's interesting about this one too, though, is we were actually in the hallway before we went into the bedroom. We're in the hallway, and Terry's in a whole different room, and this little figure pops up on the screen, but it was next to the room where that doll was. And as soon as Terry came back, you know, then all of a sudden it's like that thing jolted in that room and it was gone. Terry gets in that room, then this appears from the
Interesting.
doll, which is really weird.
Well, it sounds like an interesting investigation you guys had.
Yeah, it was fun.
So what's up? What's on our next
It'll
episode?
be another homo.
Another private
Yep.
private home?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll see you here next time on Twin Ports Paranormal. Thanks, guys.